Okay, so what if I told you that there's a simple tweak that could make your CPU run cooler, potentially expand its lifespan, and even save you a bucks on your power bill, all without sacrificing performance? Sounds good to be true, right? Exactly. Today I'm going to be diving deep into the fascinating and often misunderstood world of CPU undervolting to uncover its true potential and reveal the hidden downside nobody talks about. Okay, so undervolting. Well, the whole purpose is simple. It is just reducing the voltage supplied to the CPU to decrease power consumption and heat without sacrificing performance. This is possible because manufacturers often set higher voltages than necessary to ensure stability across a wide range of components, and by lowering the voltage CPU, it will run cooler, potentially boost a higher clock for longer, and become more energy efficient, all of which can extend its lifespan. So before we get to how you can undervolt, make sure you fall into these categories. So to lower the risk and to get your CPU undervolted with minimal issues. Because if you go ahead and undervolt your CPU without any checks, you might end up having worse PC experiences, which I will share some of them later in this video. But not that it will damage your PC, but you might start getting a whole ton of problems to even revive or create ones that never existed before. Sure, that might be the reason why manufacturers overvolted them a little bit to get away from all that. But if you do it right, you won't get any issues. Okay, so for the categories, you have much higher chance of no issue if 1. Your desktops have more stable power delivery, better cooling system, and accessible BIOS resets, or if you are an enthusiast or hardcore gamer with a good rig. Or 2. If you have a gaming laptop instead, but with partial voltage control. This has a moderate risk, but it's still safe. You just don't have to push the voltage too low too fast. Okay, so back to the requirements and checks that you need to do if you want to undervolt your CPU. First and the most important of all is to identify your exact CPU model and know if it supports undervolting. AMD's Ryzen Master supports undervolting on most desktop chips, but the laptop support varies by the manufacturer. Also, you need to check for BIOS and firmware lock. Some laptops and OEM desktops disable voltage control entirely. Ensure cooling system is functional, clean fans, repaste if necessary, and confirm that all temperature sensors are reading correctly. Undervolting helps cooling, but you need a stable baseline first. So, after having your hardware compatibility checks done, then you come to the software. And for the software, you need to get at least these apps installed: Ryzen Master, Intel Extreme Tuning Utility, also known as XTU, and lastly, CPU-Z. These apps let you track your voltage or vCore, clock speeds, power draw, temperatures, and stability. And talking about stability brings us to the apps for stress test. You see, you need these apps to know your current stability and threshold so you'll know how much you'll need to undervolt. You need to install Cinebench R23, Prime 95, or even AIDA 64 for the test tools. And lastly, prepare for backups. You can either take photos of your current settings or export a BIOS profile. This helps you revert quickly if something goes wrong, especially on laptops. If your undervolting causes boot issues or crashes, a Windows restore point can save headaches. Okay, so now let's get to how you can undervolt it. I'm going to give you 2 ways, one on the AMD processors and one on the Intel processors. First, I'm going to show you that using AMD's Ryzen Master on AMD processors. It's pretty simple. Just open the app, switch to creator mode or profile 1 or 2, depending on your preference. This mode actually provides advanced options for tuning voltage and clock speeds. Look for voltage control settings, typically labeled as CPU core voltage or vCore or VDDCR CPU. Next thing you want to do is reduce the voltage by a small amount. For example, if the current voltage is like 1.35 volt, reduce it to like maybe 1.30 volt. Or type in the new voltage value or use the slider to adjust it. And the next step is, once you've done adjusting the voltage, click apply and test in Ryzen Master. It will apply the changes and, in most cases, run a quick stability test. If your system crashes or becomes unstable, increase the voltage slightly until stability is restored or reboot Windows to restore default settings. And one downside about Ryzen Master is that it is designed for desktop processors and does not support AMD's Ryzen's mobile processors in laptops, limiting its usage to desktop PC users. Ryzen Master is compatible with AMD Ryzen processors including the Ryzen 3, 5, 7, 9 and the Threadripper series CPUs. Next is Intel Extreme Tuning Utility, or XTU. This is compatible with a limited range of Intel Core processors, including the Core i3, i5, i9 models, and it is specifically designed for the Intel K and the X series CPUs. Again, this only works for Intel processors, excluding the users with AMD CPUs from utilizing this tool. Okay, so with this one, again, it's very simple. Just open the app, click on the Advanced Tuning tab on the left sidebar. This will open up a detailed setting for the CPU, including voltage controls. And the next thing you want to do is in the Advanced Tuning section, locate the core voltage offset option. And the first step is set a small negative value, such as maybe a negative 0.010V or like a minus 10 millivolts. And after setting the core voltage offset, click the Apply button. Done. That's it. After applying the undervolt, observe your system's performance during regular use. Ensure that your system doesn't crash or freeze. Again, one downside of this is that certain changes may require a system reboot to apply, which can interrupt work or testing processes. Earlier in this video, I promised that I would share some of the problems that might happen if undervolting goes wrong. So here it is. The most common issue is system instability. These issues include random crashes or reboots, or these blue screens of death in Windows, freezes or lockups under load, or programs closing unexpectedly. These problems actually can appear only under heavy load like gaming, rendering, or compiling. So you might think everything is fine at first. And also, data corruption is rare, but it is possible if undervolting causes instability during disk operations, like saving a file or writing to an SSD. And lastly, boot failure. This usually comes after an aggressive undervolt, especially on laptops or locked BIOS systems. They can make the system fail to boot. Alright guys, so that's it right there. Yes, it is safe. It is 100% safe. It helps your CPU in a lot of ways and also increases the lifespan. But know that if you don't do it correctly, you might end up having some issues after that. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video and do subscribe if you want more content like this. Bye for now. See you next time.